down the rebellion? Why are they hiding now? Why are they not charged with genocide? End quote. The Sikh community has been asking the same question for over 2 decades. Thank you for giving me the time to speak today.
Thank you very much. The Queen's Scholars Sikh Club would like to present our certificate of honor to Mr. Hansdeep Singh from United Sikhs. And thank you for speaking out here. Now, as Mr. Hansdeep Singh explained, the way that in textbooks this genocide is written as riots, that's not going to work. Riots are when two groups of people attack each other. But in this genocide, the government had lists. They knew where every Sikh lived. And can you imagine, India is a big country. In every part of India, different cities, the same treatment happened to Sikhs. The men were taken out. They had a tire with kerosene oil put on it. They put that tire around their neck and they burned it on fire. Now, how did every city in India do that same thing? What happened to babies? Infants were taken. They were dipped on sugar and put in ant beds so that they can get eaten alive. Women were raped and mutilated in front of their neighbors. Endless horrors happened, and this was all carried out by the government. And justice still has not been given. So for our next speaker, I would like to welcome an attorney from Legal Aid to an attorney, and he's also actually my father, so everyone, please listen to him. He was alive during '84, and he has some interesting things to tell you. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon. My name is Tejinder Bains. I've been an attorney for 17 years with the Public Defender's Office, and during that time, I never represented a single Sikh in any case that I had. Sometime around 2004, I got involved with the United Sikhs, and at that time, it again hit me and took me back to 1984. And it's unusual that I'm standing here today, because in 1984, when I found out about the riots, this is where I was. I was a third-year student at Queen's College. And what I remember seeing 9,000 miles away from the carnage are vivid photos day after day in both the New York Times, the Daily News, not the Post, and on TV. We saw vivid photos of these brutal assaults occurring. Not only did we see the victims, but we saw the perpetrators. And that's quite ironic, because if in 1984, we here, 9,000 miles away, could see the perpetrators, the Indian government right there was completely blind for 25 years. Now, what happened in October 31st of 1984 is that Indira Gandhi was assassinated. She died on October 31st, but her body was taken to the All India Institute of Medical Sciences on October 31st. A crowd gathered outside of the institute, and it was a mixed crowd including many, many Sikhs. There really was no feeling at that point, no apprehension on the part of the Sikhs, no fear whatsoever. Several hours later, a large mob of about 50 individuals came out of the medical institute and started to attack the Sikhs. Now, something very unusual happened at that point. Unusual for those 4 days. The police in New Delhi actually stopped the assaults. Now keep that in mind. On the first day, the police did what they were supposed to do. They stopped the assaults. Now, on November 1st, nobody died on October 31st. People were arrested in front of the All India Institute of Medical Sciences, but no Sikh was killed or hurt on October 31st. Now, everything started on the morning of November 1st. Now, this is not the word of somebody sitting here talking to you, but if you take a look at the affidavits that were presented within weeks to months after the incident, Rajiv Gandhi had a commission called the Misra Commission. The Misra Commission really was a biased body, and they did not really have any plans as to where this would go, but the one thing they did is they collected hundreds of affidavits from victims of the brutalities and eyewitnesses. And what's shocking and chilling, in the words of Jaskaran Kaur, who's an author who had written on this issue, is that there seems to be a clear pattern on how the brutality occurred, which is groups of men would file into neighborhoods with iron rods looking for sick families. Now, I just want to contrast what happened in 1984, or what didn't happen, meaning prosecutions by the government. This year, sometime in July, there was an incident in Pakistan. It's called the Sialkot incident, where 2 boys were brutally beaten and murdered by a very large mob. This was caught on video. Video in Pakistan that was not spread out throughout the world. But the Pakistani government made sure to take that video, and they arrested every single person in that video, and they charged them with the assault. The Indian government to date has failed to convict anybody meaningful. There have been, I believe, 13 prosecutions. Now, I can tell you, there are more than 13 people that I've seen on pictures, on videos, committing these atrocities. There's an affidavit of a woman, Jasbir Kaur, who says that my neighbors, these are the kids that my sons, my college-age sons, played with. They came to my house and they killed my husband. They killed my sons, and they raped my daughter-in-law. Were they ever arrested? Were they ever charged? No. India, it seems, is now developing a pseudo-conscience because they're trying to prosecute some cases. But this is what happened, and it's really tugs at your heartstrings, is that a woman whose husband was killed, and she saw the person who killed her husband, dies before the case ever goes to trial. The perpetrators were acquitted because there was no living witness in 2008. Now, I'll tell you, because there's a rush on time, it's interesting that the one place where these atrocities are really being addressed is here in the United States of America. There's a federal statute called the Alien Tort Claim Act. What that means is district court in the United States has the authority and the jurisdiction to hear a claim by an alien of a tort, meaning an injury that occurred in violation of the law of nations. So what that means is now, and there's one case here that I'm familiar with, which is a politician in India who was inciting the crowds in 1984, has been sued here in federal court. And he actually may end up having to answer here, but the only damages are monetary damages. There's really nothing else that the government can do. Now, in conclusion, I think that the atrocities of 1984 have not just hurt the Sikh community, but they have damaged the Indian democracy, and it is a democracy. How can India, which is so diverse linguistically, religion, ethnically, ever say we are one group when you cannot tell a Sikh that you are an Indian citizen and you are free and you will be protected in your own capital? Until that issue is resolved, this issue will be a festering cancer on the Indian political body. You have to deal with it. There has to be some form of justice. Otherwise, India will never function as a democracy. Thank you.
Thank you very much, and the Queens College Sikh Club would like to present this certificate to Mr. Tajinder Bains.
Thank you.
Now, we're pressed for time, so if any of you have class and are hungry, we're gonna end in we have a couple more speakers and then we'll be done soon. But our next speaker is a gem. She's not Sikh, nor is she Indian. But like I always say, in reality, there are only two types of people. No Jews are evil, no Muslims are evil, no Hindus are evil, no communists are evil. But they're the types of people who spread hate and the types of people to spread love. And no group is devoid of either. And one of the greatest people who's not Indian, not a Sikh, but she's always at the protests, always at the rallies, and I admire her. Miss Joycelyn Janao, please come speak from Sikhs for Justice.
Bole Soneha.
Sat Sri Akal.
My name is Jocelyn Henao, and I may not be born Sikh, but I have been with the community. And once you hear about the Sikh genocide, you cannot stop. And I hope that all of you who are here today take an action, not only to listen, to learn, but also why do we care and what can we do? In 2007, and there's many people who are here in this room participating and heard that the CBI were going to close a case with the Chadish Tyler, one of the perpetrators and one that orchestrated the Sikh genocide. And a group of people, a group of Sikh decided, no, that cannot happen. And from 2007 until now, Sikhs for Justice has been in the forefront of the Sikh genocide, not only uniting the Sikhs here, and also spreading the message to other communities in the United States, in the tri-state area, but also the Sikhs in Canada, the Sikhs in London, and also most importantly, the community in India. And there's many things that has happened and for me that I have learned, and every single day I learn something new, and I cannot believe that the atrocity that happened in 1984, but most importantly for me, what is happening, the hypocrisy that is going on now. And for all of us, I know that we are pressed in time, there's many things that we can do as a community. There's many things that we can do here in the United States, and we may be young, we may be from different backgrounds, but we can do many things. And one of the things that we can do here is spreading the message. And we are in a turning point. We're in a turning point to change the course of history. Before it was dictated what was what transcribed in 1984 and thereof. By now, we are in a turning point where through the media, through social networks, through the various, whether it's the legal recourse in the United States, whether UN, whether there could be pressure to the Indian government to be transparent, to open the books, to demand justice. It's not something that justice is not, we don't hear, and the victims, they deserve more. And it's not something that is for the Prime Minister of India to acknowledge that there was atrocity in 1984 and to do nothing is a hypocrisy. So I urge all of you to want to participate, and I commend you, one, for organizing this, but there's many, you can devote your time, your talents, and your knowledge to this cause. And I think that I want to commend Teddy for being in the vanguard to also and to spread the message. So all of us, one, in terms of action, volunteering the services, learning and spreading the message. So I want to thank you all for being here, and may God bless. Take it.
Thank you very much. That was wonderful, and your compassion moves me. We, the Queens College Sick Club, would like to present Ms. Joycelyn with an award, certificate